It wasn't on the map. And that's exactly why Evan took the trail. He'd been hiking for 4 hours, deeper than he'd meant to go. The forest was denser here, older. No cell signal, no trail markers. But something kept pulling him forward. That's when he found it. A clearing. Silent. Unnaturally still. In the middle sat a lake. Round. Black. Glass-like. Not a single ripple. Not a single bird. Evan stood at the edge, breath catching in his chest. The water didn't reflect the sky. It reflected him. Only him. He stepped closer, crouched, and reached down. The moment his fingers brushed the surface, it happened. A sound. Faint, soft, like the wind. Except the air wasn't moving. Then he heard it again, clearer this time, rising gently from the water like it had always lived there. Evan. His name. Whispered from below. He stumbled back, slipping on wet moss, heart pounding. The lake stilled again, as if nothing had happened. He waited. Nothing. Silence. And yet, he couldn't shake it. It wasn't an echo. It wasn't in his head. The lake had said his name. It knew him. Evan made it back to town just after dark. Mud on his boots. Cold sweat down his back. He told himself it was nothing. Stress. Low blood sugar. Maybe dehydration. Still, he couldn't stop replaying it. The way the water had spoken. Like it exhaled his name. He stopped at the diner near the trailhead. One of those places that smells like burnt coffee and old bacon grease. There were 3 people inside, an old woman, the waitress, and a bearded man at the counter. As Evan stirred his coffee, he casually brought it up. "There's a lake up there," he said, eyes scanning the booth window. "Deep in the woods. Not on the trail. You know it?" The room went still. The waitress froze mid-pour. The man at the counter didn't turn around. Just lowered his mug. But the old woman, she looked straight at him. Her voice was dry and slow, like someone speaking from the bottom of a well. "Did you say your name there?" Evan hesitated. "What? Did you speak your name? Near the water?" He half laughed. "No. I mean, not really. I think it said my name, though. That makes sense, right?" Her hand shot out, grabbing his wrist. "Listen to me. That lake listens back. It doesn't forget. Once it knows you, it remembers. Don't say your name there. Not even in a thought." Evan tried to pull away, unsettled. She leaned closer, voice trembling now. "And never go near it again. Not unless you want it to finish what it started." Then she let go. No one else spoke. The waitress walked back into the kitchen. The man at the counter quietly stood and left. Evan sat there, heart thudding, as a single thought crawled up his spine. What did I wake up? That night, Evan couldn't sleep. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw the lake, still, black, watching. Not a memory. Not a dream. A presence. At 2:16 a.m., he shot upright in bed, heart racing. His ears were ringing. His mouth was dry. And his feet were wet. He looked down. A trail of muddy footprints stretched from the door to the bed. His boots were dry and untouched in the corner. The footprints were bare. His size. He checked the door, locked. Windows shut. No sign of a break-in. The floor creaked softly as he stood. That's when he noticed the smell. Not sewage. Not rot. Pine. Damp moss. Cold iron. The forest. The lake. He scrubbed the floor clean before sunrise, convincing himself it had to be a sleepwalking episode. A trick of the mind. But the next morning, it happened again. This time, the bathroom sink was full of water. Still dark, rippling. He didn't touch it. Didn't speak. But when he looked into it, he saw trees. Not his ceiling. Not the mirror behind him. Just swaying branches above the lake's edge. And faintly, he heard it again. Evan. It wasn't an invitation. It was a summons. Evan stopped using mirrors. Stop turning on faucets. Anything that could reflect, he covered it. But it didn't help. Because the lake wasn't just in the water anymore. It was in every surface that shimmered, that bent light, that remembered. The screen of his turned-off phone. The glare on a car window as it passed by. Even the sheen in his eyes when he looked too long in the rearview mirror. The reflections all started showing the same thing. The lake. No matter where he was. No matter what time. And always, his reflection wasn't alone. There was something else. Just over his shoulder. Not clear. Not shaped right. A bulge in the water, humanoid and waiting. Then came the whispers. From puddles after rain. From dishes in the sink. From elevator panels and wet glass. Still Evan. Still mine. Say your name again. Finish it. He started wearing headphones. Moved to a friend's place in the city. Didn't matter. One night he dropped a spoon into a bowl of soup. It rang. A ripple. He leaned in without thinking. And heard the lake say something new. Not just his name. A second one. One he didn't recognize. A name that didn't belong to him. But when he said it out loud, he wept. Because something inside him remembered. Something that had drowned long ago. Evan stopped talking to people. Not because he wanted to isolate. He was scared of saying his name. Scared of hearing it reflected back to him in someone else's voice. But curiosity got the better of him. One sleepless night, he searched for the lake. Not on maps. In stories. Message boards. Missing persons archives. Unsolved cases from remote hiking trails. He found patterns. Whispers. Disappearances. People who went camping in the same region and never returned. Others who did return, changed. Disconnected. Mute. There was one post. Dated 10 years ago. My brother Sam hiked that trail. Said he found a lake that knew his name. Said it asked him to come back. I thought he was losing it. Then he vanished. No sign of him. 2 weeks later, my mom got a voicemail. Just breathing, and Sam's voice, whispering. What's your name? Evan dug deeper. One newspaper article, barely legible. Local woman drowns in dry creek bed. No water present. Her lungs were full. Another case file. A ranger who went missing was found weeks later standing in a public fountain, unblinking, mouth just above the surface, whispering names. That was when Evan realized. The lake doesn't need to kill you. It only needs you to speak. Because when you do, it learns you. And it remembers. It started small. A friend texted Evan. You okay? Saw you at 7th and Pine. Waved. You just stared. Evan hadn't left his apartment all day. He brushed it off. Then another message, this time from his sister, 2 states away. Why did you call me at 3 a.m.? You didn't say anything. Just breathed. Then whispered my name. He hadn't touched his phone all night. And then came the photo. A coworker sent it. Dude, is this you? A still from a gas station camera. Someone standing by the water bottles near the back exit. Wearing Evan's hoodie. Same build. Same face. Except the mouth was open, unnaturally wide. And the eyes looked glassy. Like he wasn't blinking. Like he wasn't alive. Evan couldn't breathe. That night he didn't sleep. But his neighbor heard footsteps pacing in the hallway outside his door. They swore they saw Evan's silhouette under the crack of their door. Just standing there. For 2 hours. And when they called out his name, the figure didn't respond. Just slowly turned and walked away. Evan checked the building cameras the next day. They had static from 2:07 a.m. to 4:13 a.m. The only thing the camera caught before cutting out was him. Standing in front of his own door. But in the footage he was dripping wet. The messages became constant. Not on his phone anymore, in the world. On fogged mirrors in subway bathrooms. Come back. Scratched into the wood of a park bench where he never sat. The water is still waiting. A piece of junk mail arrived. No return address. No stamp. Just a torn photo of the lake. And on the back, in a smudged ink that bled into the paper: "You belong here." Evan moved again. Changed apartments. Switched phone numbers. He told no one where he went. Didn't matter. One night, walking home from work, he saw a figure across the street. Standing under a dead streetlight. Same height. Same shoulders. Same hoodie. It raised its hand, and waved. He ran. That night, every faucet in his apartment turned on. All at once. No water. Just mud. The next morning, his bathroom mirror was cracked down the middle. On the shards, his reflection looked back at him. And smiled. Then he saw it, scratched faintly across the edge of the glass. "Say your name." Just once more. Evan couldn't take it any more. Every reflection, every surface, every whisper was closing in, tightening like the lake's grip on his name. So he did the only thing that made sense. He tried to erase himself. He shaved his beard. Bleached his hair. Changed his name to Marcus Rellin. Filed legal paperwork. Bought fake IDs. Deleted every account tied to Evan. Moved again, this time to a landlocked town in the middle of the desert. No lakes. No ponds. Just dry heat and silence. For a while it worked. The fog stopped. The whispers faded. He looked into the mirror and saw only himself, and no one else. Until one day, 6 months later, a new hire at the bookstore said it. His old name. Not by accident. Not in passing. They turned to him, smiled, and said, "Hey, Evan. You dropped this." He froze. Didn't speak. Didn't move. Just stared at them. They frowned. "You okay?" He ran home. That night, the air in his apartment turned thick. Humid. When he opened the fridge, a pool of dark water spilled out. When he turned on the light, he saw it. His real name, Evan, written on the wall in condensation. And in the bathroom mirror, his reflection blinked out of sync. And whispered, "Now I remember you." Evan knew there was only one way this ended. He booked a one-way ticket, then hiked through the woods alone. No gear, no backpack, no phone. Just the name he couldn't run from anymore, humming in his bones like a song he never learned but always knew. When he reached the clearing, the lake was already waiting. Still. Black. Silent. Exactly how he left it. No wind. No sound. Only his reflection on the surface, clear, perfect. Except, it wasn't him. The face looking back smiled wider. And spoke first. "Welcome back." He stepped to the edge. It rippled. Branches above bent toward the water like they were bowing. He didn't hesitate. Not anymore. He stepped in, ankle deep, knee deep, chest deep. The water was warm. Too warm. Like it remembered him. When it reached his throat, the reflection leaned forward and whispered one final time. "You were always mine." Then Evan vanished beneath the surface. No splash. No scream. Just a gentle swirl.